Good evening, everyone, and a big hello to any new viewers that may be here tonight or anyone seeing this broadcast in the future. I'm your host, JD Temple. This is the first episode of a new series that I'm going to do every Sunday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to be a time for viewers that are like to be active in the chat to ask me questions. Any question that goes in through the super chat feature will definitely get answered, and it's all questions about like spirituality and anything regarding the occult, really, and anything involving magic. I will answer the questions to the best of my ability, put it that way. I certainly don't know everything, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. What's going on, Spiderweb? How you doing? Thanks for being here. I know I didn't give any notice for this live stream at all. I just had I really never have any free time. I wouldn't say like I just had the time to spare, but it just worked out tonight where I would be able to do it, and the mood struck me, so here we are. But yeah, just kind of coming off of Halloween. That was really great, and it's really starting to get cold. We got an extra hour of sleep last night. That was freaking awesome. I know, like, if you're like me, you never really feel totally like you got an extra hour, but somehow you did. But it just is like, I was still tired when I woke up, but that's most days. But yeah, just here lately, just been in the thick of it. Just been extremely busy. A month goes by like that, which I'm sure it does for many of you as well. But here lately, things have really seemed to go into warp speed. I mean, you can be at the end of the month and look back, and it's like, wow, I really thought October just started 3 days ago. How did we get to the end of the month already? It's freaking crazy. Hey, what's going on, Aiden? Oh, my hair? Yeah, this is what's up, Lucia? Cool. Yeah, it's good to see you. These are like synthetic. I need to get them tightened up because they've been growing out quite a bit as my real hair has been dreading into them. So I don't think they're too intertwined. So I should be able to pull it loose and pull it down closer to my head there. They're kind of starting to look really crazy now. But it's been, having hair like this has really been an experience so far, that's for sure. But it's been a really good one. I'm sure there are a lot of people, I'm sure, that look at me like I'm totally crazy, but there are a lot of people that are much more accepting of it and actually really treat me better, it seems like, than they did when I had, a shorter, more common haircut, so to speak. But, a lot of people that I thought would not take too kindly to it have been like more than accepting. So it's really been cool. It's not easy to walk around with, some wild hair like the first few days when, you're really getting used to it and you're just like, oh shit. But it really just kind of becomes a part of who you are, I guess. And it's, I think it just like something like that for me anyways, it just allows me to be myself even more because you get used to, I don't know, I guess you expect to be judged because you look so radically different to many people in society that you go through this period of a few weeks of just feeling like overwhelmingly judged everywhere you go. And then you find out that maybe that's the case, but who cares? and then you really start to be able to open up and blossom and bloom and be who you really are, and maybe like it's a very freeing, very liberating thing for sure. Oh, cool. Nice, Aiden. Hey, what's up, Michael? Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I had dreads when I was like 17. Yeah, I think 16 and 17. And, I'd always wanted to get them again. And this was a way that I could do it without having to grow my hair out forever and ever and ever. So I wanted to give this a shot. And so far, I really like it. Um, but like I said, it took some getting used to, that's for sure. And I'm still getting used to it. I've never had, I've never really had like long hair at all. I mean, maybe a little bit um, when I got my first dreads, but they really weren't that long either. So having hair as long as I do now, it's like, what in the hell? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Michael. Thank you so much. Hey, what's going on, Ryan? So what does everybody want to talk about? It's in this program here, it's going to be every Sunday. I'll answer, any question that I'm able to answer for you all. Questions that go in through the super chat feature, they'll definitely get answered. If it's something that I'm not very familiar with, I'm certainly going to let you know that, but I'll do the best that I can do. And certainly, everybody feel free to chime in on whatever you feel inclined to do so. So, yeah, that's what it's about. Oh, thank you, Lori Kush. I appreciate that. Hey, what's up, Nicolene? Halloween was great. Halloween was really good. I mean, it's like anything else. It went by really, really quickly. But I enjoyed it a great deal. It was good. Um, Pretty magical night. I mean, it always is, but um, still not as magical as it was when I was a child. I mean, that was there's nothing that could ever replace that, I don't believe. What's going on, Mercer? Good to see you as well. So, I guess tell me this: what has been the um, what has been the thing that has been really holding people back the most right now, do they think? Is there anything specific that you've been dealing with? Curious to see what commonalities, what synchronicities we'll find between everybody in the group here. Or is there anything that is specific, or is it not really that specific? Is it something that you can't really identify? Is it how can you determine if you're powerful enough to do something really, really crazy? Well, I think crazy definitely plays a role in a lot of aspects of the power in many senses. I mean, I guess crazy from a maybe not a literal definition of crazy, but I mean, I think that everybody that's here right now, um, everybody that's here now knows that you all have a little element of crazy to you that is beyond the norm. So I think you have to have a little bit of that first and foremost. But see, I don't think that it's really that any of us should ever ask ourselves that question of how powerful do you think I have to be? Because all of us are already that powerful. Um, there's no question about it. But it's just a matter of believing that and applying that energy and just doing it. I mean, that's how anything gets done and how anything progresses in life. We just have to, initiate the process and just do it. So don't even have that as a thought in your mind. Just know that you are and do it. I mean, there will be latent abilities that are within you that will awaken once you can shut that subconscious chatter and doubt and everything down. Because you have to go even further than what you're conscious of as far as that. Like, it's something that your determination really has to be strong, but you'll know once you've gotten to that point. I mean, do I still have doubts every now and again and that kind of stuff? Yeah, sure. I mean, we always will, and that stuff will try to creep in, but you get used to kind of pushing it to the side and keeping it out here. It might still try to like watch through the glass, but it can't get through. Not enough to really get into your mind and stay there. It might flash by really quickly, but it's gone in an instant. You want to crush all of your enemies, but you assume it's going to be hard. Well, I'll get to that one too. So yeah, Michael, what the spirit was telling me to talk about really, I feel like there's something that everybody here has in common from the past month, and I'm not sure what it is. Hey, what's up, Terios? Everybody check out Terios' channel too. It's under Terios on YouTube, so check that out. I can probably type in the URL here, but his channel is really awesome. I've been watching it for years. Man, you can really find a lot of great content there. He does divination, I think maybe every week, definitely every month. He uses runes and he uses tarot, and he's really skillful, well, masterful in those areas for sure, and witchcraft in general. Man, it's awesome to see you here. So thanks for joining us this evening. Let's see. Get back to this here. So why do you want to crush your enemies? Like, what's the deal there? I mean, do you have a lot of people that are trying to interfere in your life, or are these people that did things in the past? Like, trying to get a better idea of what you mean by your enemies, Aiden. Yeah. Michael mentioned, I guess in the past month, he's had some fear, like there's something huge pending. Yeah, and I've been feeling that myself for the past few months, actually. And I know that everybody can, I'm not going to say obsess over things, but you can start to think about something and start to worry about it and let it build and grow and build momentum. And the more you put your attention on it, the more powerful it becomes, and the more often you're thinking about it. But yeah, I've definitely felt that there's something. And I guess the thing that worries me more than anything else is like I've talked about this before, I think, but like the grid going down and losing power for a undetermined amount of time, like everywhere. I mean, aside of normal life things, but that's the one thing that is really It's just been on my mind more and more. And it's like, oh my gosh, I hope this does not happen. That would really be just insane. I don't think anybody really realizes the magnitude of the pandemonium and lawlessness and like the atrocity that you would see just in a matter of 3 or 4 days of not having power in, let's say, a big city or something like that. Or, larger scale than that, of course, it could be like an entire state or the entire East Coast, for example. Yeah, no, I think it's a good point right there. Nicolene saying that there have been a lot of things happening the past few months, but hasn't it always been like that? Yeah, I mean, we're always moving towards a big change. You're right. I guess it's just like there's times where it's just like there's a different energy to it, or there's a different, I don't know, like almost like there's like a different taste in the air regarding whatever it is. It's just like this a lot of the same old crap, but yet it's just like a little bit different. It gets my attention a little bit more now for some reason. And I don't know if it's does boil down to the vibration of it possibly to where I'm just like feeling it more deeply. Or maybe I'm feeling my fear like deeper degree. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to it, but I mean, we always have been in, at the teetering on the edge of lots of big, big catastrophic events. Like in the past 100 years, there's been handfuls and handfuls. Yeah, we've been like seconds from extinction many, many, many times, from what I understand. I mean, and you can't worry about it. Of course, I try not to. I'd rather not deal with it, though. I'd rather not have to go through that. Like, ugh, that's a rough one. Yeah, I know that heavy feeling. Yeah, for sure. But it's I don't know. It's I guess it just goes back and forth for me. For it's kind of very much like a roller coaster. My life. But I mean, I'm sure that it is for you guys too. Huh, yeah, I've been there with the panic attacks. It's been a while, but what's up, Dark Dragon? Oh, thank you so much. And welcome, and it's good to see you here. It's good to see all of you here. I really appreciate everyone coming out and on such short notice. Um, this is something I plan on doing every Sunday at 11. I'm going to do my very best to stick to that, and I will let you know if it's not going to happen. And obviously, if it's not on, you'll know that it's not going to happen. But I would rather you not have to find out like that. But yeah, I've been. I don't know if Nicolene was talking to me or somebody in the chat as far as saying, "How are you?" But I'm going to answer as if it was addressed to me anyhow. So that's a good question, I guess. Um, I'm good. I'm been a little stressed out. Sorry, my throat is really, really dry. It's been, changing into fall over here. So it went from very humid to very dry, and it's like, ugh. So it'll get to you a little bit. It gets to me a little bit every year. but I've just been working like so much, and all the different things that I do. So it's been really exciting, but it's been really exhausting because it's been such a um, difficult pace to keep up with. But it really helps you to learn a lot about yourself, helps you to rediscover things that you had forgotten about or lost inside yourself. So I think it's really been something that was really necessary for me to have to kind of step it into overdrive for a while. Yeah, this is live. What's up, Count Cucula? Count Cucula. That's a cool name. I like that. Oh, what's up, Joseph Nunn? You've been doing video work all weekend. Wow. Cool. Yeah, well deserved break then. It sounds like you've been working hard, man. That's the way to do it, though. Um, I will definitely say when you're not working hard and you're really relaxing too much, man, it really makes it tough to try to get moving again. I mean, it really does. It's almost like you sink yourself into concrete. At least that's how that my experience in that was. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's very similar to like going to the gym or something, which I haven't done in shit like 2 months. It's crazy. Like I've got to break this cycle of like being stuck in the concrete basically. It's because I know if I go another month, it's going to be that much harder. So I know I've got to do it. It's just here lately, I know that they say there's no excuse. You can always find the time, right? But I have not had it. I mean, I could be doing it right now, but it's like 11:15. It's 11:30. It's almost midnight. And I have went to the gym at midnight many times, but it's Sunday. It's midnight. I've got 10 more excuses that I can give you too. So I'll just stop with 2 because I have 10. I don't need to use 10. Or I have 8 others that I can use later. I'll save them for later. Hey, what's up, Sorsha? Good to see you. Yeah, I hear you with the need your money, Joseph. No, we all definitely need that. It's it's amazing how much it costs just to survive. It is unreal. It is really unreal. I guess once we realize that, we're all kicking ourselves like, why did we want to grow up so quickly? What in the hell were we thinking? Because yeah, it definitely like it gets real then. But I guess it is all in what you make it. I mean, life can be very exciting. It can be very fun. It can be extremely fulfilling. But always keep in mind, where there's really, really good, there's also going to be some really, really bad. And that's just how it's going to go. And that's just one of the facts. You're going to live and you're going to die. And there's definitely going to be good. There's going to be bad. But it is crazy. It's like, why, it's like certain people, and I'm sure, I mean, it could be magically related. Who knows? I mean, a lot of it could be self-imposed issues in their life due to past trauma or their own thoughts, whatever the case may be. But their the bad in their life just seems to be so bad and so um like almost like it's like a disease. I mean, it's just like consistent one after the other, this and this and this. And you always think like, well, yeah, my stuff's bad, but at least it's not that bad. and you kind of are like waiting for your turn of like, what is your equivalent going to be to that kind of bad? Like, oh my God, like I know I'm going to have to get it at some point, like a really, really bad thing. Like, what is it going to be? Is it going to be this? Am I going to get this? Or is this and this going to happen? Like, you never know. And um, it's wild. And I don't even know why I'm talking about that at all. It's not something that I really have thought about or worried about in quite a while, but it just went through my crazy mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. That's kind of do I think that Dracula is a ghost or an ascended master? I really don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't know much about Dracula. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good point, Hectarius. Yeah, the wheel of fortune, it is always turning. Yeah, that's it's like when it's good, and when it is shitty. Trying to find that middle ground if there is such a thing. And I guess there is. I mean, I guess that's the times of life where it's really just not too much going on one way or the other. And but then again, those are the moments in your life that you could probably not recall them 5 years from now if you tried, because there was nothing that was memorable, whether it was really good or really bad. So I guess even the bad stuff is certainly significant. But I guess, even if you don't want to remember it, you usually can't forget it. There's got to be a reason for that. So you say in hey, what's going on, Alton? What's going on, Jack? Jordy? Good to see everybody. And Sean? Dang. So you say in Nicoline in Africa, they don't even have a word for depression. So what do they call it? Oh wow, Mercer. I'm sorry that you dealt with depression like 16 years. Wow. Yeah, I've dealt with it for a good part of my life too, I believe. I mean, definitely, yeah, within the last 3 or 4 years for sure. But it is something where it's, at least I guess in my own case too, it's you have to get to that point where you just have no choice but to decide not to be that way anymore and pick yourself up and just start going through the motions and like of life, no matter how much it's freaking, it sucks. You got to do it. And then it just gets easier and easier. Oh, awesome. Hell yeah. That's what it's all about. So Mercer says that coming here and learning helped him rise up and overcome. That is awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. I mean, I used to get mm, you can have a lot of like spiritual interference and things that, especially in the beginning of experiencing these things or becoming cognizant of them, anyways, you really don't know what is happening or how to process things, or how everything really works. And when you have a lot of spirit chatter that's continuous, or if you have a spirit that is trying to communicate with you, or maybe even trying to mess with you, possibly, it can be interpreted, at least for some people, like including myself, or myself in particular, I should say, where they were just like crazy, crazy thoughts. And it was really tough for me to control it because they seemed like they were my own thoughts. Even, they were pretty ridiculous. Um, like medically speaking, they were trying to say that I had bipolar disorder, and I haven't been on medication for that in, I would say, at least a year and a half, something like that. And I have not had any of those kind of thoughts at all. It was a period of time that I went through this, and it was not really what they were diagnosing it to be at all. And I tried to tell them that. But I think there's a lot of people out there that are on medication for different mental illnesses where it's not the case of a mental illness necessarily at all, as much as it is a spiritual gift. And I've talked about this before too. It's been a while since I have, but yeah, meditation, Hayden. Yeah, meditation is great. Oh yeah, that Bathory story is really crazy, isn't it? I have a framed print of her. It's hanging up in the office in there. It's really, really cool. Yeah, her story is really wild. Yeah, Michael, I agree with what you're saying that if I'm understanding you, or I think maybe you're being sarcastic about it too. Retail therapy can definitely be, um, yeah, a temporary fix. Definitely makes you feel good for sure. But I guess there are a lot of people that are afflicted with that, if you will, to the nth degree. So much so that they are kept away from ever being interested in their spiritual life because it is so materialistic. And I remember what it was to live like that for sure. But it's definitely a whole different world. And I felt like looking back on it, I definitely can see now like how asleep that I really was. And like how my line of sight was like so narrow. I could really only see what was like directly in front of me. And when I mean that, like 5 feet directly in front of me. I had a really, really hard time like seeing anything outside of myself also. I was still very compassionate to other people, and very concerned about their feelings, but it was certainly more so people that I didn't even know as opposed to people that were close to me. People that were close to me, it's like, not that you don't care about them, but your regard for their feelings is not as important as it is to people that are total strangers. And that makes no sense at all. It should be certainly the other way around. But I'm sure it's like that for a lot of us that are here. Maybe that's the common thing. Maybe it's about considering, the like truly considering the feelings of the people that are close to you, that are around you, and not taking them for granted, and treating people that you don't even know like better than you would treat a person that actually helps to care for you in your life and stuff. Oh, that's awesome, Nicolene. Belial and Azazel are helping you with getting over irrational fears. That's awesome. Hey, what's up, Gary? And Nashwad. I don't know if that's Spanish or what it is. I can speak a little bit, but not much at all. Yeah, like it's interesting, um, Joseph, that you bring up schizophrenia, which I call it schizophrenia, but in all the videos they say schizophrenia. So I think that's just the weirdest thing in the world. So to say schizophrenia like that, but um, I have found myself just watching video after video on that. I don't know why. It's not like I think that I am schizophrenic or anything. I mean, the notions went through my mind a few times, I guess, that maybe there's the potential for it, but at the same time, I wouldn't see it as the way they view it from a medical standpoint at all. I think it's got to be something to the effect that you're experiencing a like dual dimension or a different dimension, another possible timeline plays out here and there, like your like potential alter reality or something. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, constructive schizophrenia would be amazing. I mean, I'm sure if you, especially if you're into, the arts of any type. I mean, and it seems like I think anybody that's into the arts, whether it's writing, really whatever type of media it is, all have some sort of heightened perception and some type of, I don't know if you want to call it an unorthodox personality traits or whatever. But I think it's like, we're all a little different to some degree. And of course, that there's all different types of aspects there too. Oh, really? Wow, Jordy, you fell into depression when you realized Mormonism was a hoax. So you were a Mormon as well. Yeah, that was quite an experience for me too, being in that church. Yeah, just get stoned like the hippies. Yeah, that's that's a good prescription there. Natalia, you say, Nicolene? Really? Wow. I feel like I've noticed that with certain challenges that people have, handicaps, if you want to call them that, um, which I mean, I hate to use that term, but just so that you understand where I'm coming from, that in order to keep that balance that everything is striving for, that you get a little extra of something else or a little extra of a lot of things on the other side. It gives you a greater ability here, greater ability there. I mean, I've done work for some people that had some, lifelong um, handicaps. I guess you just call them handicaps. And they wanted to get rid of this. And they were told by several other practitioners that it could be done and that they could guarantee it and that kind of thing. But yet they would not, really accept, take on that work from that client to actually follow through with it. And eventually, this person spoke to me, and um, of course, I told him, I couldn't never guarantee anything like that. I mean, he was really asking for something that was possible, but extremely, extremely difficult. Um, and I was shocked that there was anybody else that would actually guarantee this person, miraculous, instantaneous results of that nature. And he had me do some channeling for him to find out what had to be done exactly, to in order to heal him of this challenge that he's dealt with. And when I did the channeling, I found out that the only way that it would ever be successful is if he were to actually accept the fact that he had that challenge and to come to terms with it, stop using it as his scapegoat really in his life for everything, and to rise above it and to learn the lessons that he needed to learn from the choice that he made before this incarnation, really, that he had made the decision to experience that challenge in this life. What the hell? My light is getting brighter. That was crazy. Okay. I'm sitting in the dark in here and I have the light on me and it just got really bright. I don't know if y'all can see it, maybe not, but definitely got my attention. But basically he had, once he accepted that he had that issue and he overcame it, that the healing would be possible then. But I think that I really didn't understand until like right now what that spirit was actually telling me, was that him coming to terms with it and accepting it and overcoming it. I mean, that is the healing right there. Like that's when it would be successful. Like there was no healing ritual required. That this is something that his higher self decided to do. And that's something that I told this person too. And I'm sure, like a lot of other people, he didn't want to accept that. And he's like, well, can't we do this and this and this to go back in time before I actually made that decision and make it to where I didn't make that decision? And I'm like, no, man. Like your higher self is not going to let that happen. Like you're already a good way of, through this experience that you have to go through. So, either you get with the program and do what you got to do to move forward and get to that point, or you're really just going to be searching for answers for forever and probably wasting a ton of your money and your time. But I don't know. We'll see. Yep. Yep. I'm not sure how he's doing, but I'm gonna follow up and see. Um, we all go through some really wild things, and a lot of us we certainly don't want to deal with the things that we have to deal with and the challenges that we're thrown and all of that, but it's just part of this big marathon. It really is. It's such a big part of it. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. This is not going to be, these Sunday nights in paradise live streams are going to be no more than an hour. That's for sure. 45 minutes most likely. I'm sure there'll be nights that it goes over a little bit though, but I want to thank everybody for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Check out Terios' channel on YouTube. If you want to get divination services, things of that nature, go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. So if you're new to this channel, thanks for being here, and please like and subscribe and share with your friends and tell them to come on down as well. Check out Orly Stewart's channel. Check out Dove and Dagger, EA Co-Wedding from the Ashes Publishing, Schizophrenia. She's got a YouTube channel as well. Check that one out. It's super awesome. And check out Joseph Nunn's channel, Behemoth X Productions. Check out Flowing Fire. That's Nicolene's channel. That is freaking awesome as well. Lots of good channels out there. And Black Magic Exposed. Check out that one too. And I hope there are not any that I am forgetting that are really some of my favorite channels. And if I left anyone out, I have no excuse, except for there's just only room for so much capacity in here. And I was lucky to be able to pull the ones out that I did. But anyhow, yeah, check out Gary's art too. Gary Rosenberg's art is on here. He is an amazing artist. Really, really, really awesome. Really, really like psychedelic to me. It's really, really cool. But anyways, thank you all. I love you all so much. I will see you very soon, probably in a few days. I'm sure there's going to be a new Sofa Talk episode coming up. I'm going to have the video made for the candles. You got to check out the candles. They're exquisite. Absolutely exquisite. Have a good Monday. Do what you got to do. It's going to be the best Monday that you've had that you can ever remember. It's going to be awesome. Oh, I can't do it with my right hand. It's going to be awesome. A little snap magic there at the end for all of you. For free. It's free snap magic every Sunday night, 11:15 p.m. And I'll see you next time.